Drag racing fan live from McKinney Corp. It is Between the Slicks. We're going live once again. Yesterday we talked with Tyler Hilton, the NHRA Heritage Series champion in Top Fuel. Today we're going to be talking with the man that is a champion in the Floppers funny car in the NHRA Heritage Series, and that is once again Bobby Cottrell. I imagine, though, as we will talk with him in just a few moments, that this season means something completely different for him compared to all the other seasons of success that he has had in NHRA Heritage Series drag racing. Also looking forward to talking to Bobby because he does far more than just drive a funny car. He is a racer in and out, and looking forward to getting the scoop from him on what else he is also up to in his own shop and holding the wheel. We're here at McKinney Corp. It is busy behind me. You've got a car getting ready for NHRA Heritage Series action. It's actually Michael Bartone's ride. It's being worked on. A couple of other war racing bodies are in here to be worked upon. We've got some modern big show car bodies being worked on, being ready to be mounted, and several chassis that you can't see beyond this camera shot of professional and Heritage Series rides being worked upon, plenty of fuel tanks. It is busy. That doesn't mean we can't fit in what you need in the world of motorsports, because McKinney Corp, they handle it from, well, obviously the NHRA. We can even find parts and pieces in the world of NASCAR, IndyCar, and beyond. McKinney Corp, where technology makes us difference. This word, and then we're talking with Bobby.
McKinney Motorsports is your #1 source for all your chassis needs. McKinney Motorsports is the leading chassis parts supplier and fabricator in nitro drag racing. From custom tanks and fittings, full chassis builds, body mounts, steering components, fasteners, tabs, clamps, composite parts, and much more. Our household name in the racing world guarantees added performance on the track. Join our list of proven winners that spans over 50 years of racing experience.
Bobby, man, welcome back to the show. Certainly no stranger talking to you, and let me say congratulations on another championship.
Thank you. I appreciate you having you on here.
Yeah, man, I know that you're dealing with some extreme weather being out there in California. Give some people some updates. You're not like in the midst of the fires from what I understand, but they certainly are impacting you.
Yeah, we're up in stage. We're kind of up in the mountains. We probably have probably 65 mile-an-hour winds right now, and it's all the power's out right now. So I got my generator on my motorhome running the shop lights, and we're using cordless drills and everything else. So it's kind of hectic right now. Hopefully my motorhome don't blow down the hill.
I hope so too. Like I was thinking, later on, I intend going to the March meet, got my media credentials approved, and I've got a little camper now, and I'm like, man, I-40, that time of the year, you just never know what you're going to encounter. I'm like, I think that's a race I'm going to fly to. I'm not going to haul that little itty-bitty camper to and put myself in any danger zone with it being the sail that it is. Bobby, certainly we're going to talk about the championship. We're going to talk about your run to it, but you do a lot more out there in the world of motorsports. I want to take the time to talk about some things you've done even recently that, from what I've seen on social media, they're pretty cool with you doing. I'm going to bring some photos up that I robbed from your Facebook. What the heck is happening here?
Oh, that's Chris Miner's Pro Mod Unlimited Jeep. We run it in two classes. We run it in Pro Mod and it's got a C-rotor blown 526-inch Hemi. Bob DeBoer tunes that. And just a great group of guys to race with. I mean, that Jeep is just it's a wild animal. It makes just a funny car, like, when you drive that thing. But we're fun together. We're doing a lot of good. So we're just going to kind of try to see what the horizon brings to us.
With that program, I've got to ask, and I'm sure people are out there wondering, you make a hit on a big slick on concrete asphalt, it squats, it grips, it moves out. What is it like on sand, on dirt, with those type of tires, yet similar combinations of power?
Well, I guess the right, you got to a lot of you know, it's like every run. It's different atmosphere.
Uh-oh, ladies and gentlemen, we lost Bobby. I'm not shocked that that happened. He has been having issues with internet and signal with dealing with the winds. So we'll see if we get him back. If we don't get him back, we'll schedule another time to talk to Bobby. Certainly want to talk to him about his season, the run in the championship that he had, and what an interesting run. What a unique run for him, because typically you have an individual there with a team throughout the season, and yet that didn't work out for him, and it changed. And all right, we'll try this again, Bobby. We'll keep rolling on, and you are busy as well in your shop. You are certainly a skilled tradesman yourself, and I'll bring up some photos of some things that you're working on and let you discuss about these projects right here. What is happening in the hot rod shop?
Well, that the funny car is Jim and James Mayer from Good Vibrations. I hung the body and got the chassis all straightened out. Did a lot of tin work and stuff. Um, Dragster is kind of my project where I'm teaming up with a couple guys, Chris Miner and Dan Horan, and one of my customers, Bill Workman's helping me out. I guess we're going to try to get top fuel racing. So, I've kind of a Botany and 7.0 Pro and an A Fuel and stuff like that. I just kind of want to try something different. But I will be in Jim Broom's Speed Sport car for a few races this coming season, so I'm looking forward to that. But as far as the shop, we do a variety of things. We do motor building, transmission building, obviously chassis work. I'm servicing a couple 7 Pro cars and Sifka cars right now. So we got a couple street rods that make 1,100 horsepower on the street. So we do a lot of stuff around here.
Spectacular, man. Keeping yourself busy, well beyond just driving. Exciting news. Going to venture out into something new and present a new challenge, even though while still getting into the flopper seat from time to time. When people think Bobby Cottrell, they think this hot rod. But that's not the hot rod that you were in the season throughout. At the end of the season, you were in this hot rod. So give us the rundown, Bobby.
Literally a hot rod.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. It is a hot rod.
Well, no, obviously we split. Me and Bucky split ways. We had a lot of fun together. We accomplished more than I but I was kind of going to set the out, but I got a wild hair, and room gave me the opportunity to drive, and thank God we came up on top, and it's kind of far-fetched when we lose that race, but we all just kind of hunkered down, and it worked out. I wish we would have made the final round to race Jeff Ren, because I had that hot rod, but it is what it is. I'm looking forward to next season already, and I kind of got a head start on the race in the Jeep, so I'm pretty excited.
I definitely think you've got every right to be excited. And 2024, look, winning the championship in the way that you did, do you think at the end of it, it is something that says to the totality of the drag racing world, hey, guys, if you put me in with a decent team, Bobby Cottrell as a driver can get the job done no matter what car, what team, because I can drive these things. It's not just that green machine. I can wheel.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think it's just a driver, but it's not. I mean, obviously it takes the whole team. Bucky and the guys over there, they're, an extraordinary team. Obviously, everybody knows that. And fresh air to kind of be around new blood, and actually a few of my buddies way back in the day when I was 20 years old, they're on the speed sport team, so it was literally at the reunion just like a bunch of buddies getting to race in a top fuel 20 cars. So I'm actually going to go up to Tucson tomorrow and help them put the body on the new chassis. So we're looking forward to it, man. We're going to come out swinging and see what happens.
Spectacular March meet, not that far away. The track that is Famoso Drag Strip, they're already promoting it. They're getting it out there. Why do people need to take the time to go see yourself behind the wheel of a funny car, potentially a top fueler, and see the nostalgia top fuelers, see and experience the March meet? Why is it so special?
Oh, I mean, that's a March meet is, that's what kind of the holy grail to me as far as nostalgia drag racing, even any drag racing. That's where it all, Garlett's, won that race. I mean, the list goes on and on. All the big names have raced that race, and that's what I kind of, I still get excited like a little kid. I walk in my shop and see the trophies for the March meet, and that's the race to beat. Other than the Hot Rod Reunion, I mean, it's just it's the most prestigious nostalgia race in the world. So for me to be able to be a part of it, and for people to trust me to drive the race cars, it means a whole lot to me. I can tell you that much.
Well, Bobby, you and Bucky, and in that car that Bucky owns, absolute domination for years now. Now you're not in that ride. You've already said that you'll be in this car for a few laps, but possibly not the entirety of the season. When you look at the 2025 season, who are the drivers, who are the teams that we all as media fans, other racers, need to have our eyes on, and they're going to be serious contenders for the 2025 title in the flopper ranks?
Westerfield and Bucky's car, that car's always going to run good. They've got their stuff figured out. Jeff Moniz in the quarter pounder, that thing is just straight out hauling ass. They went 53 in the reunion. You can't count James Day out. He leaves like a bat out of hell. Brad Thompson hasn't done a whole lot of races in the funny car, but I think in the final of the reunion or the March meet, I went 0-29 and I left second against Brad. So there's two sides of the racetrack. There's a starting line and the finish line, and there's a few guys out there that it's possible for anybody right now. I mean, that's what I've said in my other interviews is the parity now between competitors. It's there's not one person that's really better than the other. Ryan Horan, I mean, the kid has just got what I like about that kid is he's got the ambition to learn, and I'm trying to help him out as far as anything I can as far as driving, but it's anybody's game. I mean, that's exciting to me. I don't like to show up to race where I'm 4/10 quicker. I want to be against people that are running quicker than me because it makes me work harder. So there's just a number of people that believe me, when I line up against them, I gotta be on my game because like I said, I don't think there's everybody's heavy hitters right now, so I'm excited for it.
That's good to hear that the competition has risen that much as far as the car and driver, and that we might be looking at in 2025 one of the most competitive seasons. I'm curious, we had the photo up earlier. You talked about some top fuel racing possibly in your future. Just had Tyler Hilton on yesterday, 3 in a row. They're saying they're going to go for 4 in a row. I know some of those top fuel guys over there that race those long cars. They've got to be chomping at the bit to knock Hilton off. Like, what is the scuttlebutt amongst the top fueler in the nostalgia ranks?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of fast race cars, obviously, and it's. I originated driving front engine dragsters. I didn't Bucky's car was the first funny car I've ever driven. So to get back into it, and for the guys that are behind me that are helping out and stuff, it's really, really exciting for me. And I put my thought process in this thing, tooth and nail, at midnight at night, and just it's my tinker toy. So I'm hoping to have it out, mid-season. We're going to try to test it a lot without, private testing. And I assure you, we're not going to bring it out unless we could run with the top of the field. So we're excited, and I think I need to rub a day or something because the stuff's expensive.
That it is. It is certainly expensive. It's a whole lot of fun, but it is an expensive hobby to have. And what is the classic saying? If you want to be, a millionaire, start with like 10 billion and just work your way down through racing. It's going to happen one way or the other, depending on this and that. And it is certainly a nickel and dime on this and that, parts and pieces that you've got to have. It amazes me, all the parts and pieces that go out of McKinney Corp here, the little parts and pieces all across the country, all across the world that help make racing happen. It is absolutely fascinating. And then the cost of them, for sure. But it all makes it go. Well, Bobby, look, the rest of the family, it's involved as well. I got to ask you about Peter. How's Peter doing with his productions and channel and all that he is doing for the Nostalgia ranks? And then I think I've seen some Junior Dragster stuff on your social media as well. So what's going on and getting the family even more involved in this drag racing thing?
He's doing good. He went out. I took him out to Dome Valley to race with us in the sand. He's a quad out there, so he went to the semifinals the first night, and he lost first round the second. But he rode good. And I think the Top Fuel, the dragster guys hired him to do their, most of their media and stuff. So he's doing a lot for the sand drag racing world. He's helping them out tremendously. Pretty proud of the kid, man. He's coming around. And, it's pretty cool to see what he does with the, I don't know anything about the media or internet stuff, but how he incorporate the music, and, cutting in and out of the scenes and stuff. As an older brother, I'm pretty proud of him.
You certainly should be proud of him. He's doing some great work. It looks good. It sounds good. Before we wind down with you and let you go, so many interesting things happening in the world of drag racing right now with the NHRA, IHRA. You've got the Chaos brand. So many things are happening. I'm curious, for the, as I like to say often, the neo-nostalgia drag racer, because modern-day nostalgia Top Fuel racing, it's not really nostalgia. Modern-day nostalgia funny car racing, it's not quite nostalgia. What you all are doing is still at a very high level, honestly, right there under what is happening at the big show ranks. Do you think there's a place for those cars, those racers, within other organizations such as a IHRA, possibly in the future?
I mean, I would love to see nostalgia stuff in the IHRA. Actually, Jim Broom hired me when I was 21 or 22 years old, and he was driving his, he had his two funny cars out there. He had the Candies and Hughes and the Power Still car out there, and I think Jason Rupert won the championship numerous times there. And I thought it was pretty cool with a little bit bigger pump, and I don't know if they had any blower overdrive limits, but I think it's pretty cool, to be honest with you. As far as NHRA goes. They've had the nostalgia funny cars at their national events and stuff, but and they've done an outstanding job. That Legend Association has done a great job. But obviously, I'm building a dragster to have both classes. But obviously, we got to get a group of cars that obviously don't oil the track down every time and kind of make a mockery of us ourselves. But I'm excited for the IHRA deal last week. So, all I can do is be excited about it, I mean, if people need help, if I'm not able to race, I'll be willing to help them out. And, we'll see what the future holds,
Hey, man, I'm still hoping for you because you're a talented enough driver that a big show ride for Bobby Cottrell happens one day. I think it should happen. He's definitely got the talent. Someone needs to put you in a ride. I know Cruz Petragon's talked about, somebody in the future possibly being at his race team and piloting that thing. And I think a great candidate would be Bobby Cottrell. You certainly are a talented individual. And, hey, you do a great job in these type of interviews and settings and at the track. So keep up the good work, man. It's going to be hard to keep a good driver down any length of time, and you certainly are a heck of a driver.
Well, I appreciate that. I ain't going nowhere yet. I'm gonna. I got a few more years left in me, and I still got the spark in my ass. So we're just gonna kind of keep on trucking along and see what the future brings us.
Bobby, I'm going to end with this question, and I hate asking what does it mean, but I think it is appropriate with this particular championship out of all the ones that you do have. What does it mean with everything that transpired, with everything that came about? You go into this last race, big lead, and it's like, yeah, I can do this. Just got to go some rounds. What does it mean for you personally? At the end of the day, you're tired, you're wore out, and you're like, I did it. What does it mean?
Well, I mean, it's kind of cliche because, a lot of people come up to me, like I said before, give me credit and stuff like that. But I got to give the credit to the teams that let me drive. Obviously, I felt like I got the carpet ripped out of under me. But, for myself, there was a shot. So, like I said, Jim Broom and Jimmy Kelso and all those guys gave me a call. And, again, this year, it'll mean, a lot this year because I kind of feel internally that, it's when you have a corporate sponsor and you lose it, then you kind of try to do it, with pennies. I'm not saying they don't have the good parts and stuff at the Speed Sport team, but, I think that'd be pretty cool. I think it'd be a Cinderella story, just like it was at the reunion. And, I know the guys on the sport team are really excited, and I'm excited. So all we can do is try our hardest. I don't like to look too far into the future. I just take one round at a time and, on time. The car is decent. I think we'll be pretty good, man.
Cool to hear, Bobby. Keep up the good work, and certainly will be following along with what you're able to accomplish in 2025. And look forward to seeing you at the March meet, man. And don't get blown away.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on here. Thanks for all the supporters. I really, really appreciate it.
Take care, Bobby. Thank you for the time.
Bye-bye.
There you are, folks. Bobby Cottrell, your 2024 NHRA Heritage Series Funny Car Champion. We're going to take a quick break. Right after the break, we're going to dive into some drag racing news. Yes, I know the show was live yesterday right here on Between the Slicks and the Monday Morning Racer platform, as well as the CompetitionPlus.com Facebook page. But there is yet news to share from the drag racing world concerning, again, Alan Reinhardt, IHRA, Dickie Venerables, and more next right here on Between the Slicks.
Drag racing fans, check out Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. It's the free, family-friendly fantasy bracket game. Now, after final qualifying at every national event, you can fill out your bracket for all the pro classes.
It's free, easy to click on your picks. If you need some help, just hit the randomizer button to fill in the blanks. It's for fun, stay engaged, and pick your winners today.
All right, welcome back. Drag racing news coming to you live on Between the Slicks here at McKinney Corp. And drag racing, the news ticker seems to always be ticking off these days. We would be having some great news from Bradenton Motorsports Park if the weather was cooperating. They are down once again due to wet conditions. They are expecting more favorable weather tomorrow so we can see U.S. Streetcar Nationals action in earnest. You can catch all that on flowracing.com and certainly be following along to places such as Drag Illustrated and even Monday Morning Racer as we're able to get the press releases and put them out concerning the U.S. Streetcar Nationals and the continuation of the Winter Series, a Winter Pro Mod Championship that I really think that those that win, the first winner of the Winter Series is going to be an individual that can claim either a Pro Mod driver or Pro Mod drivers. Concerning the Southeast Gassers Association, right here on the Monday Morning Racer platform, we put an emphasis on Sega Racing and certainly do enjoy it and cover it, well, you are going to be able to see Southeast Gassers Association drag racing on primetime, Discovery Channel. No, there's not going to be a Sega show like the Street Outlaws, but you can see Sega on the hit show Moonshiners. So Josh Owens, the man back there in the American flag tank top, there he is. He oftentimes races with the Southeast Gassers Association and has done that for a while now. He was back in a gasser for the second visit to Knoxville Dragway, the second to last race of the season, the penultimate race of the season in 2024. In this hot rod, these are my photos of the Carolina Shiner, and he was competing in Southeast Gassers Association action. You're going to be able to see that action through the lens of following Josh Owens Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, if I remember correctly, on the Discovery Channel. So maybe you're not a Moonshiners fan. I am not in particular a Moonshiners television show fan, but I think I am going to attempt to catch this episode so to see some Southeast Gassers Association action on Discovery Channel. That is pretty cool in my mind. Sick Week. Sick Week is quickly becoming the place to race in the drag and drive scene. And remember, folks, if you want to know more about the drag and drive scene, I've got to highly recommend my friend Michael Nartz with Drag, Drive, and Repeat. You can check him out. He's got all the lowdown with the drag and drive scene that you would be wanting to know. But Sick Week 2025 is going to start off there at South Georgia Motorsports Park, on to Bradenton Motorsports Park, Orlando Speed World, Gainesville Raceway, and then back to South Georgia Motorsports Park. If you have never seen Drag and Drive, if you've never experienced it, you have got to do just that. As a drag racing fan, I know you might be familiar and comfortable with a car making a pass, goes back, there's a tear down, a rebuild, it goes makes another pass, or there's a cool down. But the drag and drive scene is so cool, what they do to get the car ready to tackle the strip and then to tackle the street, and then the ingenuity that is involved. Definitely a great infusion of hot rodding and drag racing back together, really, as it all started in the drag and drive scene. Sick Week definitely becoming that racer destination and brand in the drag and drive scene that people want to take a part in. With mentioning South Georgia Motorsports Park, earlier this week, I spoke with Raul Torres, the track operator there at South Georgia Motorsports Park. And what a great, even though it was brief, conversation it was with him. And certainly a man that is passionate about South Georgia Motorsports Park and passionate about the sport of drag racing and that area, that market being exposed to drag racing. Some spectacular events take place at South Georgia Motorsports Park, such as Lights Out, Sick Week, about to take part there. The Southeast Gassers Association, they are going to be there before long, March 21st, 22nd, starting their season. First time ever that they have paid a visit to South Georgia Motorsports Park. It is going to be the biggest venue for the Southeast Gassers Association ever in a points-paying championship tour event. You definitely want to check that out when the Southeast Gassers Association arrive there. And Mr. Torres is certainly excited about this, as well as I am, the Peach State Showcase of Speed. He mentioned that you can expect a full lineup of what is going to take place and who is going to be there around the Gator Nationals. We do know that Tony Stewart Racing Nitro, they have it on their schedule, so some contingent from that camp we can expect to be there, but we don't know who else will make up the lineup in Pro Stock Motorcycle and in the Nitro ranks. But South Georgia Motorsports Park recently. They got some snow down there in southern Georgia and the southern parts of the United States on the Gulf Coast. That is certainly where Adele is, near Valdosta, Georgia. And, well, they put the oval track to good use that hasn't had much use in many, many years, and used the banking as a great sledding opportunity on the snow, having some fun there. That is certainly cool. As mentioned earlier, the March meet. This was dropped yesterday on the Famoso drag strip social media outlets. Tickets on sale now, March 6th through the 9th. That's the March meet this year. That does actually fall on the same weekend as the Gator Nationals. Come on, NHRA. Let's all get together. Let's plan where the March meet and the Gators don't fall on the same weekend. Come on, let's work that out. But I highly recommend, if you have not been to a March meet, it is a race that you want to get to. It is a race that you want to experience, and I'm looking forward to returning to Bakersfield, California, and Famoso Drag Strip. My media credentials have been approved and going to be out there covering the March meet with the Monday Morning Racer platform. If you are interested in partnering with the Monday Morning Racer platform on covering Top Fuel, Funny Car, and Fuel Altered, please reach out. Would love for you to be a part of the coverage there at Famoso Drag Strip. Big news has been dropping today in the drag racing world, and this is news that, well, we kind of knew this was going to happen, and it was really the worst, best-kept secret out there in drag racing. Dickie Venables named crew chief for Team Coletta's DHL Funny Car. So Dickie is moved on from Tony Stewart Nitro Racing and Matt Hagan, and he will be with Team Coletta in 2025. And I think this is a major move. For several seasons now, though J.R. Todd, the Yellow Fellas, the DHL Funny Car can step up and win a race, they really haven't been an upper echelon performing funny car out there in the Nitro Funny Car ranks. And I think bringing on Dickie Venables is going to be that boost into the program. Now he's going to be in that conversation with Austin Prock, Matt Hagan, Ron Capps, and those that seem to be here of late, almost perennial top 5 contenders. I think J.R. Todd, I think the Coletta program on the funny car side, they're going to be right there as well. Funny car is going to certainly be interesting this season with its competition in 2025. And then we talked about this Tuesday night on the Competition Plus Power Hour. We talked about it yesterday on Between the Slicks with Tyler Hilton, the NHRA 2024 Top Fuel champion of the Nostalgia ranks, that Alan Reinhart announced that he is parting ways with the NHRA. And in parting ways with the NHRA, he mentioned that it was mutual and mentioned that he's moving on to something else, that he's going to be doing something that is different. And we now know what that different is. He is going on to the, well, as he would say, the I side. Alan Reinhart joins IHRA, that's the International Hot Rod Association, as Vice President of Racing Operations. So what we can expect Alan doing, it seems, in this IHRA return to glory as they continue to bolster their leadership package. They have brought on a new CEO. They also brought in a new president, parting ways from Kenny Nolan, and that new president is Richard Schaefer, a former NHRA Division II director. They seem to be putting together a good cast of characters to help move the IHRA forward into the future and into, well, what they want it to be, a return to glory. Alan will not just be announcing, yes, he'll be announcing the IHRA Nitro Jam series, and that was mentioned in the press release on IHRA social media outlets and the website, that their is the intent to have these IHRA Nitro Jams. We don't have a schedule yet. We don't have dates yet, but they have it in the press release that, yes, there is the intention to have these events. Alan apparently will be announcing those, but he's not just doing that. He's going to be involved with some scheduling, the tracks, and the operations. Definitely something for Alan Reinhart that will be a bit more responsibility and has an opportunity to do something different out there in the drag racing world. Change can be a good thing, and I'm sure that, as he said, he's looking forward to the challenge. That's good for him. And as I said yesterday, with the NHRA, we will grow into whoever will be the new voice of the NHRA. I just have to wonder, will Alan Reinhart now say at an IHRA Nitro Jam Series event, the inside? How does that work? The inside opposed to the I side? Drag racing right now, interesting times for sure. And I think in so many ways, positive days. The competition we have in Pro Mod right now, the competition that we have in Top Fuel, the competition that we have across the board. I think of places like the PDRA with its sportsman's program. I think of what the WDRA is doing. And with mentioning that, when it comes to the IHRA, look, it's great that they intend to have Nitro Jams again. I have to wonder, though, what are they going to do to get tracks back? Or what are they going to do to take their platform to tracks that possibly are not IHRA tracks? Maybe it's just going to be a slow build back to that return to glory. But they have lost some critical tracks to the WDRA, and I don't know if having a Nitro Jam is alluring enough for those tracks to come back. Certainly, the new ownership, CEO, Richard, Alan Reinhart, and all the others that will be involved in the future, they have a long road, I believe, to that road of return to glory. Can be done. They're putting some good people in place. Nonetheless, it is going to be an uphill battle. But I do think the sport of drag racing needs another place for nitro cars to go, just like what Chris Graves has done with Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos, and now Fuel Altered Chaos about to fire up toward the end of the year there in Tucson. It is giving drag racers more places to race, and it is opening up opportunity for more people to become drag racers throughout all the levels of drag racing. And that is a good thing. Let's go into the comment section. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. Michael, I see that you mentioned the old drag racing videos on the YouTube channel, in particular the Competition Plus YouTube channel. Yeah, it's been great. Bobby has been uploading some great old races. It was just a week ago I took the time to watch the, I think it was 84, 85 national event for IHRA at Edgewater. And that was so cool to see because I work with Chris Graves in the Chaos Series, and we take Nitro Chaos to Edgewater. We've been there 2 years in a row now, and it is a great facility. They still hold big events to this day. They still are burning Nitro to this day. They might not have an IHRA national event. They might not have a NHRA national event. But for that facility, Nitro Chaos comes into town, and it's a big event, and it's a good show, and they're still burning Nitro and ripping down there next to that river. And what an interesting lineup. Bob Jenkins and Marty Reed, and you've got some characters on that telecast that, you know, we're seeing now on YouTube, on competitionplus.com YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to see that great content that, you know, later on we see them and they're doing great things. Bob Jenkins, the announcer there at, you know, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and you got Marty Reed later on. He's leading NASCAR and in telecast, things of that nature. So let's take that and look at it, and then look at the situation with NHRA and Alan Reinhart. Like, people are like, who is going to fill his shoes? And without a doubt, they are big shoes, but everybody's got to get that shot. Everybody has got to have that opportunity. Well, I take that back. Not everybody, the right people, but you got to give people a chance in roles. It fascinates me, some of the people out there, and what I hear that, oh, I'm canceling this subscription because Alan's not there, or drag racing just is now dead to me because Alan is not there. I have to ask, were you a fan of drag racing, or were you a fanboy of Alan Reinhart? Look, I was a huge fan of Bob Fry, but when Bob Fry retired, I'm like, man, go on, do what you're going to do, but I still love drag racing. I was a big fan of Mike Dunn as well, but when they moved on, I still love drag racing and still watch drag racing. I was a big fan of the telecasts of like Eli Gold and Phil Parsons and Ned Jarrett. Ned Jarrett on the NASCAR side, loved Ned and his perspective. But when broadcast booths moved on from those characters, I didn't stop loving racing. It's very interesting to me. So, into the comment section. Pat, any racing today? Well, not on this live show. It's a live talk show. Racing today, we would have had some if the U.S. Streetcar Nationals down at Bradenton Motorsports Park, well, wasn't dealing with weather, but they're dealing with weather. And, again, you can catch that racing action on flowracing.com. Or you can wait for the action to come out on YouTube channels such as Straight Line Media. Straight Line Media, they'll have round-by-round action, I'm sure, after the weekend in a edited post format on their YouTube channel and beyond. You can check out guys such as NC Pro Modder and Redline Motorsports, several down there covering that great event, the U.S. Streetcar Nationals. I agree, Ford. I think drag racing has never been better. Look, certainly, I can think back to the 80s. I can think back to the early 90s. It was a great time, too. But I think it continues to get better and better. And it's just different, sure. But we need to look at the differences. And I don't think always slight what's happening because it is different. Sometimes because it is different, it actually is better. I think we've got it pretty good. If you're a fan right now, you can go to your local track or you can go to your big national event. You're going to see some spectacular drag racing across the board. Mike Cage says, I think Canada will accept IHRA. They were here long after the NHRA left Quebec. Well, that is a great place for the IHRA to look and try to find some elbow room. The issue right now is just the IHRA and its track list keeps dwindling to the WDRA in particular, but also the NHRA. And there are new tracks that have been built or that have come on board that could have aligned with the IHRA, and it didn't happen. So the IHRA has got to work, I think, more than on nitro jams. They need to work on their package for the track and the track operator for the track and that track operator to bring that facility under the IHRA sanctioning. They got to work on that. And they got to fix that before I think they'll ever be able to have successful, long-term nitro jams. Everybody seems to think, hey, you got to get out there, you got to have top fuel, you got to have nitro funny car, you got to have professional cars. And right now, I don't think that's working overall. You have the NHRA with it coming up on 75 years of leading the way in drag racing, honestly. And the inside, if I may, is at the top. And then you have the WDRA, the World Drag Racing Alliance, and it has said, we're not worried about having top fuel. We're not worried about having funny car. We're not worried about having professional classes. We are going to be a sanctioning body that takes care of the track and takes care of the sportsman racer. And that is their wheelhouse. And right now, they're getting that done, it seems like. The IHRA is somewhere in the middle. And this team that's being assembled, they have got to, I think, certainly very near in the future, clarify what is it that they're going to do in drag racing that is going to better drag racing. Would love to see them get back to that glory in this return to glory. But I think they certainly have elements that they have got to figure out and define that distinguish them from the WDRA and distinguish them from the NHRA. As I said yesterday, I think they just got to do it differently. For one, I don't think the Nitro Jams should be a carbon copy of an NHRA national event. If you want to have top fuel, great, but let's put funny car and fuel altereds together. Let's have only injected nitro a part of the show. Let's have where you must run a clutch in top alcohol funny car. Let's elevate top alcohol dragster and top alcohol funny car to professional status in the IHRA. Certainly those racers are looking for more places to race because of the way in which they're treated with and from the NHRA. So if you treated them right and treated them well and elevated them in the show, they could certainly go race at IHRA. I think they've got to do it distinctly different from WDRA and the IHRA and the NHRA, the inside, if they're going to be successful in the future. So, to Alan Reinhart, wish you well. Hope that the new challenge is fulfilling and rewarding. Dickie Venerables is certainly going to shake things up and very well could turn things around for J.R. Todd and Coletta Motorsports over there in the funny car ranks. And we are in exciting times in the world of drag racing. Well, thanks to Bobby Cottrell for his time, the 2024 funny car champion of the NHRA Heritage Series. And remember, folks, we are not that far away from firing up and burning nitro. But the drag racing world, it never seems to stop now. We got racing down in Florida again this weekend, the U.S. Streetcar Nationals at Bradenton Motorsports Park. You catch that action on flowracing.com, various YouTube channels, and you'll even get some reports right here on the Monday Morning Racer platform. To each and every one of you, thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Thank you for commenting, and we will be live again. I think the next guest might even have something to do with one of these sanctioning bodies that we've been talking about, and have certainly been the leading edges of the drag racing news as of late. To each and every one of you, God bless, and keep the pedal to the metal. Until next time, I want to cue up a commercial, and we are done for this episode of Between the Slicks. Thank you for joining in.
If you own a beautiful modern muscle car like this 1320 Challenger, I'm sure you don't want it stolen. Because the Challenger and many other modern vehicles have an easily accessible neutral release strap. That was your coin holder in your center console, and beneath that there's this red cord that someone can pop, put it into neutral, and potentially easily steal your car. But at Destroyer1320.com, they have the TDS, Theft Deterrent System, which is a cover over that strap using factory mounting points so that you don't get popped by a thief. So make sure to go to Destroyer1320.com using promo code MMR for 15% off and get your Theft Deterrent System TDS and steal the thieves' hope.